So this is a new Void Talk today. This one is going to be about gaming and physical media ownership versus all digital. I grew up in the era of the PS2, Xbox 360, PS3, the Wii, and I used to remember going to GameStop, Best Buy, Toys R Us, buying the games, and I would also read the backs of it and read the booklets they had in it, like with Star Wars Battlefront 2, had a booklet on it. I could read it for hours on it in the car, and that felt good to me, and I loved reading that. Nowadays, we don't have that. We can barely have games with actual cards in them. Mostly now it's just digital. And that's good and bad at the same time. For digital, it is convenience, but the prices have not reflected that to me. Where if they are selling a console like the PS5 without the disc tray or the Xbox, and it is somehow the same price or even more expensive, and then they also sell you the disc tray on top of that as well if you want one. So I'm like, well, if it is discless, it should be significantly cheaper. And with digital games, it should be cheaper on day one. Like instead of going to Best Buy or Target or Walmart or GameStop, it should be significantly cheaper than that. Because there's no middleman, there's no cost, they literally make it from the company and release it to the game. To Steam, Battle.net, Epic Games. It literally should be significantly cheaper than that. And it's like nowadays you don't really own your video games or movies like streaming. You just don't own anything, which kind of sucks. And it's, to be honest, it's kind of hard to beat the digital prices. Like if I go to Best Buy and the newest Call of Duty is $60, $70 nowadays, or I go on Steam and there's a summer sale and it's like 20 bucks or 30 or 45, and it's so much cheaper. Even Call of Duty, or not just Call of Duty in general, but when I look at prices like on Kindle, like I read a lot of books, and basically if I go to Barnes and Noble or a bookstore, I like, oh, I'll take a picture of a book that I like, and it's like $30 there. It is $1.99 on Kindle, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy the Kindle version. Would I prefer the big book, a hardcover book, and all that? Yes, I would. But to be honest, I can't beat that price. And it's a convenience thing, and it's a cost measure thing as well for me, and for a lot of other people. Because, well, I used to buy I used to buy the newest Call of Duty or the newest Battlefield for $60, $70. But nowadays, you can buy a gift card for $60 or $70 and go to sales and get 10 times as many games for the price of one. Now that's always a sale, but usually Steam, Battle.net, and all those guys, they have sales constantly. And it's impossible to pass those up. And yes, I get the whole thing of, oh, you don't really own the game. I get that. But it's impossible to pass up. Because I've seen some people complain that what was it, like Assassin's Creed Shadows or the newest game was free on Epic Games or one of those websites, and people were complaining that even though it's free, they won't get it. And I have to look at them and I'm like, it is a free game. Even if you never play it, it's a free game. Get it while you can. Like I have on my one of my laptops just for free Epic Games. So every week I get all the games I can for free. I have over 25, almost 30 games that I've paid $0 for. And one of them was Deathloop. And I looked at that game and it was $60. I got it for free. And if someone had told me, well, why didn't you just buy it? I would look at them and say, but I'm being smart about my money. Like, I got Hogwarts Legacy on Epic Games. I already have it on another console, but I got it free. And that's the thing about it nowadays for gaming. Like, I have my 360 and my PS3 that I go through occasionally. The games sit there, collecting a little bit of dust. I gotta clean them off though. And that was an era that I don't think none of us will ever get back. It's when you would like go ride in the car or go with your siblings to get the midnight release of Call of Duty or World of Warcraft. And sadly, those days are all behind us. I wish it wasn't so. It's kind of not strange, but it's kind of sad that we kind of got away from physical media and went to digital. Of course, I use digital all the time now because I'm not really going to scavenge the internet to find a game. Like if I wanted Pokemon Blue and Red, because I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of fun to play. And I'm like, I could either pay hundreds of dollars, scavenge the internet, try to find it, or I buy it on the eShop for 20 bucks. I mean, at some point, it's a no brainer. And I know a lot of people don't like that take of digital first media, but you kind of have to realize nowadays that you kind of have to. I don't really prefer it, but with the pricing of what they do for sales and stuff, you'll never get that nowadays. Unless you go to a game store and find the used bin section, which there's not that many around anymore, sadly. I wish there was, 100%. But now it's all digital with Steam, Epic Games, and all that. But gaming on the 360 and PS3, the PS2, when you could open up those books and get booklets of stuff and maps and ideas to how to take out this certain enemy or read the boss weaknesses. And you could spend all day reading that. I remember a vivid memory of me in Kohl's. I had just bought Thief from 2013, I want to say, and I was reading the back of it, and I opened up the game case and was reading the booklet they gave me. for the entire shopping trip. And I was so enthralled with that because I was holding it in my hand and I could read all about it. And I went back to it nowadays on Steam and it didn't feel the same at all. Even though I read it and that booklet, it just wasn't the same. Like, even with Nintendo uh, games nowadays, it's mostly like codes that you type in on the eShop to download the games. That's good and bad. I mean, as long as your account never gets hacked or get banned, you're pretty much golden. And it's kind of hard to beat nowadays again. I would prefer they kind of went back to just a better system for gaming nowadays. I think these companies got a little more greedier because they can say this game costs hundreds of millions of dollars to make, or you can sell it for 60, 70, 80, $100 now. Oh, but if you want the deluxe super edition, it's $100. But I mean, I look at some of the offers they give you for it, and I'm like, wow, artwork or music soundtrack or a costume. And I look at that and I'm like, that is not worth any amount of money. Of course, if you like the game series or that, it's more power to you. If you love reading that or listening to the music, great. I think I have one from Far Cry 3 from a decade ago. No, that was a decade ago when I got like a knife, and I think like a knife thing, a DLC, something else with it too. That made it worth I know it was a pre-order, I think it was. That made it worth the price of that. I still go through my PS3 and Xbox games, just reading through the covers sometimes and think back at a simpler time. Where I look at prices nowadays for PCs and Xboxes, and I'm like, what happened to gaming? Maybe gaming outgrew me, or maybe gaming left everyone behind. I really do think that it kind of left everyone behind. Of they're claiming all of these things with the games, how it's costing so much money to make. And now, yes, it is way more graphically enhanced than back in the day of 360 and PS3 and PS2 and the Wii. But to me, it's not really kind of worth it. Like, I was looking at an HP Omen laptop. They wanted $4,000 for it. I looked at the laptop, they wanted 6,000. Looking at the desktops, they want 3,000, 4,000. I've looked at budget laptops. They went up in price. It used to be $200, now it's $300. It's on sale right now for $190 online. Even the cheapest Chromebook that I found was $190. I got a Chromebook, I got it for $50. It's got 2 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of storage. I'm mainly using it for YouTube right now, but guess what? that is worth the price. $50, $100. To me, a budget laptop, maybe $200. My HP 15 was about 150 on sale. And 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM on top of that was $25. Nowadays, that exact same version of the laptop is over $400, I think, on some websites. And I'm like, what is happening to technology and gaming that everything is so astronomically expensive that I really don't feel like buying games anymore. Or I wait for a sale. Like I haven't gone to a actually they don't really have midnight releases anymore. But I haven't bought a full price game for like $60 or $70 in I think years at this point. Because it is so much cheaper just to buy a gift card and put it on wish list and see if it drops the price. Or if I don't want to wait, I'll look at other games that I can get 10 times the amount of games for that one price. That's why I have a huge backlog as well. It's kind of hard not to do that. Oh, you got the Steam Summer Sale. And oh, look, Modern Warfare 2019, $5, $6, $7. And this is selling it for $40 on the. Maybe not 40. Although some I have seen for like 60 still, and it's like $5 online. I'm like, you gotta think and be like, well, I can buy the $5 one or the $60 one. It's the exact same game. And I prefer digital nowadays. Digital is a blessing and a curse at the same time for us. It's just with streaming like Netflix, Hulu, and all that, you don't really need cable anymore. That I was thinking about that a little bit ago. That you can get like a $400 package for cable. No, that includes like ESPN and all the other stuff and all the other programs. But I'm like, if I just want internet and Hulu, it's like $10 a month with no ads or limited ads or whatever version they have nowadays. Nowadays, it doesn't really pay to get cable or get physical media nowadays. Yeah, this rant has been all over the place basically today because this void talk is, I guess, on physical media and why it is sadly gone away and digital is taking over most of our stuff, which to me, I do not like at all. I don't mind it. I kind of prefer in some aspects of it. Some aspects I don't like it. But when I think with my wallet and my dollar, you can't beat digital nowadays. I would like it to change, but it will never probably change. Sadly. I hope you guys have a great night, a great weekend, and I hope to see you guys again. Take care.